I need you to do something for me.
I'm here to get assurance.
MobLand isn't your typical crime drama. It takes everything we've come to expect from the genre, family feuds, criminal empires, double crosses, and then layers it with a bunch of clever details that you might not catch on a first watch. That's because the creators, including Guy Ritchie and Top Boy writer Ronan Bennett, weren't just making another gangster series, they were building something richer. The show is packed with symbolic moments, visual cues, literary nods, and a whole lot of subtle storytelling finesse that ties it all together. So if you've already binged the season but feel like you missed a few things, you probably did, and that's not a bad thing. Let's dive into some of the most interesting Easter eggs and hidden gems buried in MobLand's gritty, stylish underworld. One of the most striking settings in MobLand is the underground bunker where Harry plays mediator between rival gangs. But it's more than just a dramatic meeting space, it's a deliberate callback to London's World War II bunkers. That oppressive closed-in vibe, that's on purpose. It mirrors the tight, claustrophobic dynamics of the criminal world and the endless turf wars happening right beneath the surface of polite society. And speaking of surfaces, there's also the literal metaphor here. The bunker is under London streets, just like the entire criminal underworld. The showrunners leaned into this symbolism, using dim lighting and tight spaces to contrast the bunker's suffocating energy with the openness and luxury of the Harrigan estate. That estate, by the way, also tells its own story. Moving on, let's talk about why the Cotswolds means more than we think. Conrad Harrigan calls his estate the Cotswolds, which might sound like a simple location nod, but it's actually a character clue. The real Cotswolds region in England is known for its scenic beauty and ties to old money. Basically, it screams respectability. So by naming his criminal lair after it, Conrad's sending a message. He wants to be seen not just as a powerful man, but as someone legitimate. He's craving that upper-class acceptance, even though he built his empire through blood and backdoor deals. Moreover, MobLand does something really clever with its cinematography. Harry's life is split between his duties as the family fixer and his role as a husband and father, and the camera reflects that divide. When he's in crime mode, the shots are handheld, the angles are tight, and everything feels unstable. But when he's at home, the visuals soften. We get wider, warmer shots with calmer tones. It's a visual way of showing Harry's internal tug-of-war. He's trying to live two lives, but it's clear the chaos is always creeping in. One hidden detail is that Helen Mirren's character, Maeve Harrigan, doesn't just show her evolution through words or actions. Her wardrobe does a lot of the talking. Early on, she's styled in elegant but subdued outfits. Luxurious, yes, but with roots in her Irish background. As the family conflict heats up, so does her wardrobe. Darker colors, sharper lines, bolder statements. The costume team worked closely with Mirren to craft a look that shifts with Maeve's growing power. When she needs to command attention, she wears rich jewel tones. But in tender family scenes, she dials it back with softer textures. Her outfits are like a mood ring for her character. Having said that, you might have noticed the range of Irish accents throughout the show. Some characters sound deeply Irish, while others have more anglicized tones. That's not a mistake, it's intentional. The accents help paint a picture of an immigrant crime family where some members have stayed close to their roots, while others have blended into British society. Conrad's thick accent hints at his origins, while characters like Harry show how time and environment have shaped their speech. It's a subtle way of highlighting the push and pull between heritage and assimilation. And let's not forget that the episode titles in MobLand aren't just catchy, they're full of literary references. They subtly nod to classics in crime fiction and Irish literature. One standout is Episode 2, titled Jigsaw Puzzle. On the surface, it refers to the mystery of Tommy Stevenson's disappearance, but it also hints at how Harry is piecing together his own fractured identity, especially with flashbacks involving Kevin and Eddie. The titles don't scream their meaning, but they add depth if you're paying attention, and they invite viewers to explore the bigger themes behind the bloodshed. MobLand is fiction, but it borrows plenty from real-life London crime history. The Harrigan family structure, the turf wars, even the money laundering fronts, They all mirror real crime families that dominated the city from the 50s to the 70s. You won't hear names like the Krays outright, but the parallels are clear. The tension between the Harrigans and the Stevensons, for instance, echoes actual feuds that once shook up London's underworld. It gives the show a gritty authenticity that makes everything hit harder. When criminal families meet in MobLand, they often do so in designated neutral zones. Tommy Flanagan's character Moody manages one of these spots. These places follow strict rules: no weapons, equal representation, and someone to mediate. And although it might seem like a Hollywood trope, this setup is rooted in real organized crime practices. It's a way to avoid full-on war while still hashing out problems. So when characters meet on neutral ground, it's not just dramatic, it's traditional, in a very dangerous kind of way. Another Easter egg that you might have missed is Guns Tell You Who People Are. The show's attention to weapons is another quiet but important detail. Each character's choice of firearm reflects who they are. Conrad prefers something classic and refined, fitting his old-school persona. Harry opts for practicality. He's about efficiency, not flash. Even background characters have carefully chosen weapons that hint at their training and roles. Plus, the show gets points for realism. Gun access in London is tough, and MobLand portrays that underground supply chain accurately. It's another way the series prioritizes realism over flashy shootouts. That said, Tommy Stevenson might not have a lot of screen time, but his stuff matters. His watch, for example, ends up playing a pivotal role in the story. Family photos in his room aren't just set dressing, they reveal connections and hint at his relationship with Eddie. Every item is chosen for a reason, and if you're watching closely, you'll start to realize these props are actually plot devices in disguise. Furthermore, vehicles that match the vibe cars aren't just for getting from A to B in MobLand, they're part of the storytelling. Conrad drives a classic, elegant car that screams heritage and power. Harry's car is low-key and efficient, perfect for someone who needs to move fast and not be noticed. Eddie's flashier ride? That tells you all you need to know about his younger, showier approach to power. Even the background vehicles are chosen to match the socio-economic makeup of the neighborhoods. It's all part of building a believable world. Another thing that seems hidden details is power plays at the dinner table. Family dinners in MobLand aren't just about food, they're chess matches. The seating arrangement at the Harrigan table visually communicates who holds power. So, if you're planning a rewatch, keep your eyes peeled. There's a whole second layer of storytelling happening just beneath the surface. Which Easter egg or hidden detail surprised you the most? Leave a comment below to let us know. And that's that for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.